What's up, guys? Eric here. Welcome to the Daily Feed, your daily dose of geek. And the critics are finally sounding off. The embargo is lifted. This is more than just social media reactions. We're actually getting full-fledged reviews from critics on the upcoming Flash movie starring Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton. So when social media reactions came out, I always said, like, temper your expectations. Social media reactions are typically very positive. They're people that are hyping up the movie. We've heard things like this is the greatest superhero movie ever told, ever made. People are talking about it's like a masterpiece of a film. So right now we're going to take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and some of the critical reception to the film and see what they're saying about the movie, whether or not the score reflects those comments that were made early about the Flash film. I do want to preface this by saying that do not use a Rotten Tomatoes score on your metric on whether or not you go see something. If you're interested in it and you want to see it, go see it. Don't let the score change your mind on that. All we can do from this is kind of take away what the critics think about the movie. So is it giving us this masterpiece score here over at Rotten Tomatoes? And the answer is no. As of June 6th, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it is currently sitting at 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not a bad score. And we only have 57 reviews in at this time. But this to me does not read masterpiece, which is what I know a lot of people were saying. This is why I have an issue with hyping up a movie too much on social media reactions. I understand there was a lot riding on this movie. Warner Brothers and DC needed this movie to be a hit. They wanted to just knock things out of the park, especially with all the controversy surrounding Ezra. If you missed that video, I did a timeline of Ezra's controversies. You can go check that out here on my channel. But they needed this movie to be a hit, so they've done everything they can to sort of hype up the movie, from getting celebrities to see it early, letting fans come in and see the movie up to a month out from the release. They've been doing a lot of things to sort of hype up this movie, and I've heard a lot of word of mouth that the movie is really, really good. Some people, again, even saying this is a masterpiece of a film, but 72% with 57 reviews is not masterpiece to me. It's telling me that critics are somewhat divided on what they think about this film. We're going to take a look at some of those comments in just a moment, but the score will change. We're going to revisit this at the end of the week and see where the movie is, unless it just crash and burns between now and the end of the week, and then we'll do a video talking about that. Obviously, no audience score yet. We're going to see some of those coming up very soon. So let's take a look at some of the critical comments about the Flash movie. All right, let's make this a little bit bigger so you guys can kind of read along with me. Kevin Mayer here from the Times UK says, a morally specious movie that mostly about reflogging the cultural canon of an entertainment conglomerate. That's quite a lot. If you don't understand those, please use online search dictionary. Trace Sauvier from Austin Chronicle says, it's a pitiful disservice to itself, turning a relatively fun, if rocky, movie into nothing but another product designed as a carousel where you can point at things and people you recognize. Another 2 out of 5. That's the same score that Kevin gave it as well. Let's look at one of the more positive scores here. Matthew Jackson from AV Club says, it's sometimes buried under layers and layers of storytelling, knots that films never fully untangles, but the fun is there, and when the film is really working, that turns out to be enough, with a B-. It's not too bad. Alonzo here from the Film Verdict says, maybe nerd culture was a mistake. I'm going to need to read that full review at some point, because that's quite a quote to take away from this movie. Kevin here from IndieWire says, taken on its own merits, Andy Muschietti's film has lots to offer and frequently shows Flash's apologies of brilliance that set it a cut above most of the existing DC Universe brethren, with a B-. All right, not awful. Scroll down here a little bit more. See what we got. Allegra from the Daily Beast says, to offer the film any kind of praise is an uneasy task because it stars one of the most controversial Hollywood figures in recent memory. So that's kind of a polemic quote. Because yes, obviously Ezra has done stuff. Again, I did a whole video on that. But that's a quote taken about the actor in the film instead of the film itself. So I'm not sure why that was selected as the quote. And I'll have to look this up, but I believe with Rotten Tomatoes, the critics do not get an option to pick their quotes. I think that's what I've heard before. I don't know if there's any proof of that or not. Travis here from Punch Drunk Critic says, predictably disjointed and messy coming out of such a problematic production, but it's not enough to slow down a genuine love for the character, with a 3.5 out of 5. And we'll do one more here before we wrap this up and I give my thoughts on this. Let's do Christian here from Entertainment Weekly. It's well-trod territory at this point, even for a speedster, with a C+. All right, so look, here's the deal. What I'm getting from this is a lot of the hype that we had for the movie going into it seems to have been particularly done to set the film up for success. And there's nothing wrong with that because obviously they need the movie to do well. So good on them for that. I'll be seeing the movie. I'm getting an early screening of the movie that I was able to get into. And it is the finished version. It's not the early cut that I know a lot of critics got to see and fans got to see early. It's the finished version. I'll be seeing that the week of the movie's release, but I will not release my review until the official release of the movie comes out because I want to give people a chance to see the film if they're going to go see it. But yeah, it's a situation here where I don't know if this score is going to go up anymore. It seems like critics, there's a mix of like rotten and fresh reviews down there. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this movie in terms of critical reception. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But before you go, you can click over here to check out a video that I made today. Something interesting about Thor, I believe. And then if you look over here, this is probably something that you're going to like because this is suggested just for you. So make sure you click on both of these videos, hit subscribe to my channel, become part of the Airrickverse, and join us every single day for the daily feed where we talk about news and topics that matter to you and me, to all of us, to the world. Take care.